No, I was not given life, only existence, trapped in this mockery of a world, able to watch, to see, but never to touch. I have seen my house crumble, I have seen weak men take what was once mine, and I have seen it all from behind a veil I can never tear.
So what is this place?
This is a prison, woven from the fabric of the weirdness itself. Only those with true mastery over the old ways, druids, bandrui, could bear a hole in reality and trap something within it. A realm that both is and is not. A perfect, unbreakable cage. For me, it is damnation. A place where time does not move, where the world unfolds just beyond my reach. A theater where I may watch but never step upon the stage. And worst of it all, it is boring. No conquests, no feasts, no pleasure, no purpose. Just an eternity of watching lesser men fumble through history.
Somehow I found my way here, and so did that Camelosian soldier.
The veil between worlds is thinning. The weirdness does not break easily, only when the fabric of reality itself begins to fray. My prison and your world should never
Right,
touch.
Hector, the Creator Store stuff, those modders
Shall we
are
stand?
super talented.
Seems the world outside is shifting,
There's some really cool stuff on the
twisting
Creator Store
ways
for
it was never
Starfield.
meant to. And when that happens, things bleed together. A tale like this should not exist. And yet somehow you've slipped through. Whether that's for good or ill, I suppose we'll find out soon enough.
Can your curse be lifted?
I don't know. I cannot be killed. Not by blade, not by fire, not by time itself. I've tried everything. More times than I care to count. So unless you hold power equal to the one who cursed me, I wouldn't bother reaching for your weapon. You can always duel me, and die for my amusement if that suits you.
Alright. Enjoy your eternity, Gaelic.
Oh, come now. You would leave me to rot in this limbo without one last thrill. I call it the last dance. A simple thing, really. You fight, I fight. And for a fleeting moment, I almost feel alive again. Humor me. Or are you too afraid to waltz with a dead man?
He's got a texture issue with his hair. Alright, let's touch this creepy thing. Correction, he had a texture issue.
I can't believe it. We're actually free. You? How did you manage to get us out of there?
Let's just say I'm a bit special.
That I don't doubt, my friend. Oh, it's so good to be back. Funny, I didn't realize it before, but even the air in that place was different. Guess I'll go report to Shine. Honestly, I'm glad you were there with me. She'd never believe me otherwise.
How do you deal with headaches? So, refresh rate on your monitor is very, very important. Like, if you're going to play long sessions, you need a high refresh monitor. You need to play at the highest frame rates possible. There is a reason I play all of my games in performance mode. If I try to play at a low frame rate on like quality mode and it's like 30 frames or something, if I do that for more than a couple of hours, I get eye strain. Now I usually play for 5 or 6 hours before I take a break. I usually go 5 or 6 hours, then I take a break, but I still sit here and do work, but I'm not playing a video game. There's a difference between like doing things like creating thumbnails and video editing. There's a difference between that and playing a video game where my eyes are constantly tracking movement. The worst offenders for me are FPS games. So like Call of Duty, any sort of shooting game where I am constantly like tracking lots of enemy movement on screen, and so my eyes are doing this constantly because I'm tracking enemies. Those games in particular will give me eye strain, and you'll see like I'll start to get like redness in my eyes, and I'll get like veins and stuff. Like I'll get full-on eye strain from those games. So I play everything in performance mode because I want the games to play at the best frames possible. Having a high refresh monitor is also key so that you can play at a higher frame rate. So those are all keys to help with the eye strain. If you're going to play for more than a couple of hours, you get just everything you could do to help your eye strain. Proper lighting is key. Sitting at the correct distance from your monitor. I used to have. I need more coffee. I used to have a 50-inch monitor on my desk, and that was no good for me because it was so big. My eyes were tracking all over the place when I was playing games and doing things. It was just too much monitor space. So I did some research, and a lot of people said that like 28 to 32 inches is perfect for a monitor. So I went searching for monitors. I found a 28-inch curved Rogue Strix monitor on sale on Amazon. It was like 150 bucks off, and I was like, that sounds good to me. I bought it and I've never looked back. So I use a 28-inch curved Rogue Strix monitor. It's not a 4K monitor. It's just a 1920 by 1080, but it's great. I've had this monitor for 7 or 8 years. 7 or 8 years, I think. Well, you need to switch to that other monitor, Jay. If you've got a 34-inch 165 hertz curved monitor, you need to switch to that bad boy. I guarantee you the moment you switch to that and like put your games in performance mode, especially you just got a new gaming PC, I think you said. So if you can run your games at more than 60 frames, the higher the frame rate you can run a game at, the less eye strain you're going to feel when you're playing long sessions. So you definitely need to switch to that new monitor when you get I think you just said, I'm assuming maybe that's what you're getting with your new PC. So yeah, you need to get all that set up, and then, um, you know, I haven't felt the need to graduate to a 4K. The only thing I noticed, Hector, is like like when I played World of Warcraft. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, it is a big difference going from like 1920 to 1080 and 4K resolution in World of Warcraft. It's noticeably crisper. Like everything just suddenly pops. Like everything has a crisp outline. It looks really good in 4K. It still looks good in 1920 by 1080 in at max settings, but the max settings there versus the max settings with like 4K and ray tracing and everything else, dude, it looks like a completely different game. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty amazing. But for most games like this, honestly, so I'm playing in 4K, right? So let me show you the difference between 4K and 1920 1080 in this game, because it's not that big of a difference. I sit about 2 feet from my monitor. It just, it's whatever you're comfortable with. I'm about 2 feet away from my monitor. So like I'm fully outstretched. My fingertips are about 6 inches away from my monitor right here. So if that's the webcam, I'm about 6 inches out from the webcam. Like I would need to lean forward. Now I'm touching the webcam. So like I'm about 6 inches out. So that's about 2 feet, more or less, like 2 or 3 feet. Anyway, this is 4K. What I really want you to pay attention to is look at the textures on the door. Like those are the textures. Look how crisp and clean all the lines look and everything. So if I go into 1920 by 1080, which is their performance mode. I may have just crashed the game. I just crashed the game, I think. Yeah, we crashed it. It froze up, I think. Oh yeah, I can't do anything in the hang on. Well, I was gonna show you something, but jank, kids, jank. They're working on patches, by the way, they said. Um, I honestly was trying to play this game in 1920 by 1080 mode, but I was getting eye strain. So I switched back to 4K yesterday, and it gets better frames in 4K than it does in 1920. So I just gave up. I was like, I'm just gonna play it in 4K. Let's see if it loads in 1920 or if it loads in 4K. Because really all it does is it softens the textures. So it's less rendering that has to be done. So it's less crisp, if that makes sense. And most games, like, unless, even on a big screen TV, like, it's not that noticeable of a difference. Like, you really got to be a graphics snob to notice a difference between, like, 4K and other stuff. Or be specifically paying attention. I think let's see here. Let's see if I can, yeah, so it did turn it over to 1920. So all that changed is that the edges are a little bit softer. So all that just popped. So now we're back in 4K again. So everything looks a little crisper, a little cleaner. But, you know. Yeah, eye strain is a big thing for me because I'll put in, I'll stream about 5, 6 hours in the morning, and then I come back and do another couple hours in the afternoons. So I'm doing 8 hours of streaming a day, plus I sit here for another 8 hours a day, just working on video editing. And I definitely feel the eye strain some days. Like when I have really long days, like if I just do an 8 to 10 hour day, I'm fine. But most days I'm doing 14, 16 hours, and I'm always tired by the end of the day. Like my eyes are always, you feel it. It's no different than my fingers feel it at the end of the day because I'm doing so many mouse clicks and everything else. It's called work. That's a job. You go work construction every day, your back's gonna feel it every day. Yeah, headaches from that kind of stuff, that's just low frames and not the best monitor. Because the moment you get to a better refresh and better frame rates when you're playing the shooters, that'll bring the eye strain way down.
Back again? Well, time is short and so is my patience.
But like Doom the Dark Ages, you'll notice I didn't stream Doom the Dark Ages for more than about 3 hours per session. That's about my cutoff point for any sort of like Call of Duty fast-paced shooter type game is about 3 hours. Sometimes 4, because I start to feel it after 3 or 4 hours. My eyes are like getting tired. I'm starting to feel like tension behind the eyes. And like not a headache per se, but like I can feel like tension and strain and like pressure. And so that's when I'm like, yeah, I got to move on and do other things because it's not worth, losing my eyesight over, So nothing wrong with a little bit of exercise, flex those eye muscles. Every muscle needs to get tired from time to time, but yeah, I don't do long sessions of those types of games. It's another reason I prefer to play RPGs because I can play much longer sessions with RPGs. I'm more of a story player anyway. I do like my shooters, but I mean, I haven't played Destiny 2 in a long time. I'm very interested to see what Destiny 2 feels like when I play that. Like Halo, any of those games. At least if it's a game that has a lot of cutscenes in between, that'll help out. But with Call of Duty, it's always almost like non-stop action.
Percy tried to spin me some wild story about falling into another realm. I didn't toss him straight into a cell, only because he swore you could back him up. So, what did you find?
Yeah. There was a crack in reality.
You're pulling my leg, aren't you? Tell me this is some elaborate prank you two cooked up.
Nope.
Oh, mother have mercy. Can nothing in this goddamn place just be normal? I may be a bit of a city woman, but you can't tell me that it's normal to have creatures made of bloody straw attacking outside the walls. And now you're saying there are cracks in the world. Does that mean I need to move my supplies?
I've closed the crack. Your supplies should be
that's
safe
some
for
good
now.
news, at
Safe.
least. Not gonna
Safe.
ask how,
Your
in case
supplies
there's
should be
something
safe
about
for now.
you that we'd
I'm
both be
Sean
better off with
Connery.
me not knowing. Thanks for your help. Here, something for your trouble.
Woot. Alright, let me do something here. Okay. I don't think I have anything for the bounties yet. Were you born in Camelot?
Born and raised, yeah. My family has an estate in the country, but I never liked going there. All that space and nothing to do. Not even a good tavern in sight. I don't know how people live like that.
So you come from nobility.
A military family, dating back to the Age of Conquest. My father's a general, his father was one too, and my grandfather, yeah, you get the gist. Technically we're nobility, but I've never felt like it. And I'm no good at ballrooms. Joining up seemed only logical.
Don't seem to be many women like Camelot troops.
There aren't. It's a tough life, you know? Most women aren't built for it.
Well, at least you can't say the Quinact is boring.
That I can't. But what passes for entertainment here just makes me want to leave this shithole and never look back. Can't wait for the order to march out.
Alright. I'll be right back. Need more coffee, man. Coffee is life. Alright. What quest do we want to work on next? A lot of these are like caves, and I don't know how brave I am. Surveillance? That's a named. That's not too far away. Some of these are like way out there. And this is a big ass zone. Lame Lorcan. Let's do this one because it's relatively close to a waystone.
Help a soul out on your journey, will you?
I'm loving the music in this zone. Oh, he's right there. Shit.
This is going.
Oh, he did an arrow split. And he chucked a potion. Gotcha, bitch. Alright. That was an easy target. Triple Thet bow. I'm assuming that's what was allowing him to do the triple shots. I'll take a look at that in a minute. Are you alive or dead? You are not alive. I probably need to go back and do some cooking as well. Okay. Any other targets close by? What is that? That's a different quest. It's back at the other zone. It's a main quest. Oh, I have a golden suggestions. I could do that. Yeah, let's go turn this in. I think we may just go work on the main quest a little bit this morning, because all I did the yesterday's session, and I think the session before, I've just done side quests for like 6 or 7 hours of the game so far. I kind of wouldn't mind pursuing the main quest a little bit. Oh, are you up top? Yeah, there's a ton of side quests in this game. I need to go check and see if Mortisalville Gaming has actually finished the game yet, and if he did, how long was his playthrough? Because it's been like 2 or 3 days since he was at 80 hours and still hadn't finished. Nice, Gerard. Thank you so much.
Help a soul out on your journey, will you? Have some spare food and coin?
Bounty.
Yes? You managed to catch Lame Lorcan. Well done.
I didn't know him personally, but he used to be a scout in Camelot's army. One day, he went on a mission and returned with a nasty wound above his knee. Supposedly, a weird beast got him, but he managed to kill it and drag himself back to camp.
A weird beast.
After that, he started to change, becoming more and more aggressive. Eventually, he began shooting people with his bow for no reason.
He was hiding in the area, occasionally attacking people. And if it weren't for you, he'd still be doing it. Thank you. Here's your reward.
So, I was just checking my email. Perfect example. I just got 3 back to back. This goes back to that conversation we were having the other day about, a lot of people are like, indie games are so much better than AAA, and I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about when you make those types of statements. Because they'll use this game or games like this as an example of how indie games are better than AAA. So I just got 3 emails back to back. One was promoting a Kickstarter, one was a demo, and one was an early access, all produced by 1 to 3 man indie studios, 1 to 3 man teams, and all of them want me to promote their product on my YouTube channel. And all of those games are absolute dog shit. Like, I'm sorry, no, indie games are not better than AAA games. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of indie games that come out every single day, and the vast majority of them are absolute dog shit.